Welcome to the artist studio of Julie Boehm.
So, hello. We are here in my studio in Wittenberg, showing you my creative space, and that's my boyfriend. I'm sharing with him this beautiful studio. It's Mark Zimmerman. He's a digital artist. And we live here since more than now 1 year. And yeah, what you saw before was installation, and I painted myself. And today I will also do a small painting on my hand. So let me show you some work in advance. Okay. So that's my art. I do body painting, photography, and I'm coming from fine arts. So this is my art. So now I will give you a round to my tour. So here we are in my studio, and I am making calendars since 2014 with a art fashion studio in Canada. So we travel the world and we create beautiful body art. And I also do the digital processing. This is my body painting. And also here. And I love to work with dancers. That was the first edition. That's me as well. And that's a recent. You can buy on Amazon. Still now, that's from 2020. And featuring also other artists. So let me go more showing my studio. Yeah, I make costumes. This was of one competition last year. So, and yes, that's a recent painting I finished. And here I am on a new painting. It's called Together We Flow. And it's oil and mixed media. I love oil, painting in oil, because I have I'm coming out of an artist family, and I'm using the oil painting colors of my grandpa still. It's more than 30 years now. So that's my studio I built for body painting. And yeah, but I'm not only body painter, I'm also filmmaker. And so that's the last poster of Paris You Got Me. I also painted the poster, and this film was my diploma at the Film Academy Baden-Württemberg. and it won more than 60 awards worldwide. So I was traveling all around the world for the last 2 years. That was Black Widow. It's a fashion film. Yeah, and let me show you my little art gallery. So I will show some lights. So this was a work I did in Vienna, collaboration with a photographer. I also did this hair, and this is an artwork I did in my little studio with a changing background, and this is also from Vienna. I studied in Vienna, the Academy of Fine Arts, and yeah, I have more artworks. It's body painting. That's also in Ottawa, and that's also from Canada. And here I painted also the background. So I have these paintings I'm doing for exhibitions. And yeah, and now let me show you my vitrine where I collect all my awards. So, so that's my vitrine. And here you can see lots of memories with winning several awards of film, directing, and also Mark, here's one that's for his last short film. He does also VR shorts films. So yeah, and last year in Apolda, first place, and that was in China, our biggest award for best VFX. Yeah, so, and yeah, you already saw. I was coming out of this painting before. It's an installation I made for a living act. So, yeah. And now, okay, and now I will go to my place where I will paint my work for today. So, so let me set up. I need to make the camera because I'm working with a gimbal. Mark is still there. So, need to drink first. Okay, first I want to say thank you to Book a Street Artist. It's an amazing collective for artists where yeah, they promote us, and with a lot of passion. And yeah, I'm happy to be part of this community as a full-time working artist. And yeah, so okay. But today we don't have too much time. Like normally it takes around 6 hours for one of these artworks. Yeah. So, like you can see, it's a lot of detailed work, and most time it's also preparation, like I showed you outside the painting on my canvas. So today we will paint on my hand, and do you already know what? Let's start like you have to guess. I can give you a little tip. It's the second most hated animal in 2020. So let me give you a little tip. I still have one. So you can write if you know which kind of animal. Or maybe I just will start. And I also have a special giveaway for you. Mark posted in the comments. It's a game, and in the link in the description you can go and just follow my newsletter to get all informations about my events, my new ones, and also when there is Corona over, where I will be next, because I'm non-stop traveling for my art. So yeah, you can support me, and in this link you will see different kind of thank you also for supporting me, and as my thank you there will be a prize. So I'm also creating these cards are with animals. I call them painted stories, and I also make of these bags, you see, and also money bags. So the price will be, you can select one of my, I have a lot of different motifs from them, you can select, and I will send to you when you subscribe to my newsletter. And yeah, and extra, it would be super amazing when you support me with some donation. Because yeah, as an artist you have to live from something. And yeah, so yeah, I also wrote the link, but I think it's mirrored, so better you click in the description. And now we're gonna start with this. Okay. So, okay. Okay, first I will start so, and when you have questions, just put down in the comments, I will answer. I'm using the brand mostly from Chameleon Body Paint because I love their pigments and it's so good quality. Like I tried out a lot of different brands, but Chameleon is my favorite. So this animal, I had one actually several years ago. I called him Michelangelo because he built so nice nets with where he stayed. I hope you can still see. So I just start with white. This animal are very funny. And also starting with white is good because you don't mess around when you need to correct something. As a body painter, you normally don't have time, never have time. Always need to stress out because but I enjoy working with people so much because it's kind of a transformation of course of their outer self, but also of their inner self. And I also work for my days, and there I get just like not models but normal people, and that's so nice. Sometimes I really prefer working with normal people because they book you because it's some kind of like most of them, they always wished to do this before, and it's kind of like reinventing themselves without the pressure on you of being yourself. So that's why I also love jumping into different roles because a body painting model is not just a model, it's also an actor, and it's about self-creation. And I also go on a lot of competitions, and yeah, it's always kind of a challenge, and it's very important that you know your model, because she or he will present your work. So if you want to be my model, just write me, and I have a model group on Facebook, and yeah, we are a happy community. And yeah, every body painting is like a designer piece on a special person, because you would never paint the same design on another person again, because it's kind of like you need to integrate the body lines and everything about just this person, and also the spirit. The spirit is most important. So, okay, now we made the base of this, and I will now fill out with some brown colors. So the first person who writes down what is for animal will win one card. So stay tuned, and maybe you already know. So it's still just the base. And for all those who want to start doing body painting, it's important to have professional equipment, like with not good brushes. And so when you're interested, just ask me. Maybe then I will write down next time also the equipment I'm using. I already said like I'm using chameleon because I love them. And for my makeup, it's also kind of experience over the years which colors are from which brand the best. And everyone is talking bad about Eulenspiegel. I bought this. These were my first colors. I went to Bösner and I got these colors, the liquid ones, and actually they are perfect for this kind of messy look. Like I've known a lot of artists, they use acrylic paints on skin, but that's not good. So rather to use this kind of liquid color for like airbrush, they say it's for arrows, but it's too thick. So this is perfect for this kind of where you have kind of the oily and textured look. So I prefer use Eulenspiegel color. And they are all water-based. That means you can wash it off easily. Just put some soap, then the skin will get soft. Wait a minute and then wash it off. So it's very easy. I'm now painting since 11 years, body painting. And it's still like very special every time I get booked for a new event or private booking. I do various things like I have done for lectures when you had an author, and I was creating in the background the main character of the book. I was also painting in cinemas for example, Charlie Atlat and the sketchbook artist of The Walking Dead, and I painted the zombie in the cinema. That was also really cool. to do some special effects with latex and transforming a person, also the shape of a person's face. Yeah. So you already know. Still just shading and putting the base on. So that's chameleon. And I always try to use black for the latest, but sometimes you need it for contrast. So, as I said, the first person who guesses the animal will get one of my cards you see in the background. And a very special thing about these cards is they have German poems on it about the animals. Like maybe you know Aesop, and he always puts the politicians or the people into the roles of animals. And with this card it's the same, like you always have kind of a theme of each card. And yeah, they are quite funny. Maybe I read one for showing you. It's German, but so this one with two snails. So now I talk in German, maybe you understand. Wo Liebe blüht, ist's immer gut. Im Wald und auf der Wiese, sogar auf eines Pilzes Hut. Denn Robert liebt Luise. Da ist es auch mal ganz egal, ob dieser Pilz ist giftig oder glatt, weil er nicht Grund für Herzensqual, stattdessen schenkt Erfüllung satt. Yeah, and that's from my dad, Wilhelm Boehm. He is a poet in Bavaria. And once a month I make one of these illustrations for him, and he invents some new stories. And he was a former Förster, I think the person who is going in the forest. So these are his his favorite animals. So yeah, and of course he loves dogs. So this card actually is very good. It's about having friends. So because this mouse, has this dog as friend, so he will save her from her. Ja. Ganz wichtig ist im Leben ein starker Freund zur Seite. Er wird den Schutz dir geben, der anderen den Respekt bereite. Muss da nicht jeder Danke sagen, wenn selbstlos hilft der treue Hund? In unserem Leben wir zu selten wagen, was selbstverständlich guter Grund. Also from my dad. So that's always always a challenge for me to get all my projects done. But yeah, I love being an artist. I love creation. I love what I discovered with my film projects. I love collaboration with working with other artists. Is super amazing. And I discovered that in my last studies at the Film Academy, I love directing. It's a very challenging process sometimes to integrate all the ideas of the people that have, but in the end, you create something together that is even bigger than you on your own would have created this. So I love making films because also there's coming everything together, also with music, and yeah, I just love. Thank you, Elvis. You're welcome. Elvis is a great name. I love Elvis Presley. I'm also, like, maybe you will find in my films a little touch of the 20s, and I just love this epoch. And you won't believe me, but my dad was born in the same year like Elvis Presley. It's 1935. So it's a good year when he was born. Also in my last short film, Paris You Got Me, it's a dance film through the epochs of art, and it's kind of collects all the experience of the spirit of all my past studies, because I studied 20 semesters. That means 10 years. But I think you never stop learning, and also now I practice a lot and push yourself to become even better. And that's why I also went to film, because people there are more honest, I think. They work very hard, and they don't say, like normally in modern art, it's like, don't ask, it's just art. I think for me that's not enough. You have to not to talk too much about your artwork to explain it, but to show the spectator that it's great art and it's worth to look at it. I think that's the most art that I like, to be honest and realistic. Also in the background, it's a composing I did with one of my favorite dancers, Alina Ruppe. She's a contortionist, and she's also working in the circus, and it's amazing to work with her. she already did also for me a performance for the opening of one of my expositions, the Internationale Kunstausstellung, where she was also coming out of a painting I did. Yeah. And as I said, I love working with people. My last project for film was in January. It was before the big lockdown in Equatorial Guinea. And Equatorial Guinea, like most people, when you ask about Malabo, they say like, Malibu? Bah, that's not in Africa. That's in Florida? No. So Malabo. Malabo is an island in Equatorial Guinea, and there is one of the most amazing body painting festivals worldwide, because you have so amazing artists there, like 3-time or 5-time world champions in, like, from airbrush to also from skin wars, the show of what is kind of like America's Next Top Model, but for body painters in US. So you also have great artists from there. And this year I was responsible for making the whole film documentation of the social media. And also I made a short film about the festival, like kind of Odyssey, because this year was theme origins and the 4 elements. So it's a story about a man who plants a seed and has a dream of this festival, and how it works out. You will see on my page. Also, I will post on Facebook, and it will be released 1st of May. So when you want to Google this amazing festival, it's called Equatorial Guinea Body Painting Festival. And yeah, it's just amazing. Because it's made for the people also there. They get free workshops, and people there are very poor, but they are so kind. And in the first edition last year, I was also invited as an artist, as a body painter, and we painted local people and transformed them into artworks, and it was so amazing. One of the photographers I'm working with, Dimitri Moisev from Art Fashion Studio, he did a calendar, and now there's even one new calendar coming out. He just posted of 2021. So yeah, I will also post soon. And yeah, just amazing people to work with. So in any case, also when you're artist and you see kind of a link with my art to your work, just text me, and yeah, let's make it together. I love the whole community. And in my eyes today, in our days, it's the best time for being an artist, because you can promote yourself, you can build your website yourself, you don't have to be a super high-end programmer, because it's really, everything is kind of very easy now compared to the years before. And I'm also a big fan of listening to biographies of successful people that lived, and each time I'm coming back and it's like, we have to be so happy, we are so lucky. Like now I am living in Germany, and even though with this crisis I have a lot of work for my I do at home now. Of course, all the jobs got cancelled until summer or postponed. All the trips I was very upset. But yeah, I'm thankful for all the other opportunities, like here going live with Booked Street Artist. Amazing opportunity to show my art to you and also to inspire you, and yeah, coming together in this creative world. So now I have so these are the fingers. And as I said, I traveled a lot the last 2 years also for my film, and I went to a lot of award ceremonies. We won more than 60 awards worldwide, and all this experience you can't read in a book or can't. So my idea was for. I was so grateful for this chance to I had with this last film. So I wanted to say thank you to the whole world and the people. And so I wanted to make kind of a film festival strategy plan tutorial. I will release in late summer to give some tips for filmmakers. They just started, and because there are a lot of things I didn't knew before, I would have done other now. So that will be also one project. I will to have kind of like a strategy for letting the world show your art, your film. Putting some yellow. I would call myself kind of like also a little bit of impressionistic painter, because I love putting colors, every color everywhere, and most of all blue shadows. I love blue shadows. Okay, let's make the nose. Maybe the contrast. And I put down the light. And then you see more. Yeah. Sometimes too much light is not good. So he has a pink nose. And he also has pink hands. It's not just a subsurface scattering, but also he has pink hands. So, and now I make the eyes. They are totally black. For body painting, it was kind of a change for me, as I'm coming from oil painting. Because with oil painting you work in layers, but with body painting it's not a good idea, because the skin is kind of like it needs to be flexible, and when you put too many layers of color on it, it will crack. So don't paint too many layers of body paint. Hello, Frank. Frank is also one of my photographers. I love working with him. You can check out his page. We we were in Rügen last year and in Croatia. Some highlights in the eyes. So you already know what I'm painting. As I said, the first person posting down what I'm painting will get one card. And when you follow my newsletter, you will also get in my box for winning one card. And yeah, check out the link below. Mark Zimmermann posted. And get to my newsletter. I'm trying not to spam you, but just announce my most interesting announcement or giving discounts. Or just like today, next time posting when I go live. Because I think we are all kind of community and we need to help to each other. Because whatever energy you send out into the universe, it will come back sooner or later. So I'm thinking even when it takes time, everything happens for a reason. Sounds some blue shadow. Also in the eyes, sometimes you can put a little bit of blue because the eye is reflecting the sky. And you have blue everywhere. Sometimes you just don't see it. It's not only black in the shadows. It's blue. Like everything on this planet has a little bit of blue. Hello Lionel, thank you. My sister is there too, Stephanie. Thank you. So what I think also about this crisis is we have to rethink how we treat animals. So that's why recently most of my work also shows animals, because they are living beings we have to treat with respect. And yeah, I love animals. Sometimes they're even more wise than humans. Yeah, Günther, ein ungewöhnliches. I am going live and showing you my art. I am painting this, and when you stay on the end, I will ask Mark to do my performance again of my whole styling I did. It's kind of with my living act paintings, but you will see. Stay until the end, and yeah. Thank you, Maria. And he has small nails. I'm painting. Lionel, yeah. I can tell you if you want to see the full film. It's not yet fully released. It was just. It will be shown on German TV this year, and I will post it. But subscribe to my newsletter and I will send it to you. So until now it's just a trailer, officially. But it's a story about artistic empowerment, and that's kind of the message in all of my works. I want to show you that you can do anything you want when you believe in your power and creativity, and you can learn anything you want to learn, as long as you want it, and you're brave to go for it. You're welcome, Lina. So this Paris You Got Me, I can tell a little bit of this about this film. It's my diploma film. at the Film Academy, and I came into directing just by trying out. Like, we had the first year, and I liked it so much, but my studies were animation. But at the Film Academy, it's amazing. You can, when you have an idea, you can, of course, you don't need to do an own project for a diploma. You can also help others. But when you really want to go for something, and and you keep asking them, and of course my project was a little bit big, well, it was big, but after all, they let you do, and when you find the right people to work with, you can really push your things. But it was not easy, that I can tell you. And the production went like the story itself, like about an artist who's battling with getting acceptance and showing the people his world, but they don't understand. And there's one thing about this film. Also, I made it with one of my most favorite dancers. I'm so happy that she's my friend. She's called Ksenia Pakatskaya, and she's a very famous tap dance, swing, ballroom. She started with ballroom, but she's so amazing. And she's also a singer. And I'm so happy because I recently met her in Munich again. And yeah, she asked me to work again, so maybe there will be some upcoming new projects together. Yeah, check out her website. She also has a course you can do at home, online, The Secret of Solo, where you can learn swing dancing from her. And yeah, she's super amazing. Ksenia Pakatskaya, originally from Russia, but now living in Spain, in Barcelona. Yeah, and she's also a singer. So you have to go to her page. It's so amazing to have these kind of friends. Like, they inspire you and you work with them, and yeah. That's also how I met my boyfriend. Before I was at the Babelsberg Film School in Berlin, and during my studies, I also had to earn some money, so I was working as a creative director for a magazine in Vienna, spikeheels.com, and I made one video interview with an artist. I was searching per week, so it was kind of, for me, it was kind of fast food film production because I had to make everything. Interviews, filming, redaction, and also putting on the website. Cutting, of course. But that was a good training for me, getting into film. And I was also when I met Mark, and he was nominated for Best Upcoming Filmmaker at the Animadogo in Berlin. And then I was in his network, and then he asked me, because he saw me on Facebook posting some of my model pictures, and he asked me to be his actress or model for his new film. Yeah, and so I get to know him, and he also was he's a super amazing VFX and digital artist, matte painter. He does even music, and he is just amazing. He was also one person who pushes me to some of my biggest projects with some help of believing in me. So it's getting closer. Let's put more contrast. So do you know what is? There's still the winning game running. Chagall. Yeah. That's amazing, you know, Xenia. Lionel. Yeah, she's very famous. Chagall, yeah, mostly it was, I had one painting. While my film production was, there was the film Loving Vincent, and it was the first hand-painted animated movie. And I was so inspired by the technique, not the story, but the technique of this film. So they also had one plan sequence when you were flying about over the fields. And for my film, I said, like, I want to have something like this in my film. Like dancers spreading colors on the ground, and the color grows and sucks in, and there is a painting getting painted by itself, and with swirls like of the impressionism and the expressionism, and there was of course the painting of the woman with the umbrella, and that was one of my inspirations. But I didn't had 1 year for this 1 minute sequence. Like that had in Loving Vincent, they had a lot of artists, and so we did kind of like mixture. And it was very funny because when I had my diploma presentation, there was one animator for crowd simulation in the judges, and he didn't know how he asked me how did I do this effect, and actually it was body painting. But nobody expected like having body painting. I was also the only body painter at the Film Academy at that time. So it's not so common to use body painting with this kind of film, I think, and visual effects. But I really like using this style. So as you see, I put a lot of colors in the fur, because all together, when you look from more distance, it melts together. And now I show you one of my special brushes. It's a broken brush. It's an old brush, but I cut it, so I have 3 lines, and I can paint fur with it. It looks more fluffy. And it's all about refining and working over it. So something wrong with the left eye. Too much white. When you go on my website, you can also check out, or on Book a Street Artist. On Book a Street Artist, I have all the services in the description. So I do a lot of performances. I do live painting for shows or at openings of exhibitions. I sometimes paint a model or a dancer coming out of a painting. And so you have more interaction with the spectator. It's not just something where people go and eat or talk. So they also have kind of a show. And that's what I like, combining my body art with my normal art, because originally I am a painter. I come from oil painting, and I really love old art, like the modern classic art. I am a big fan of hearing biographies of artists and noticing at the end that we have to be very grateful for our time. Like last week I was checking out a documentary about Franz Marc, one of my most favorite painters, who died in the First World War in Verdun. And yeah, I am always repeating, like, now it's the time to be an artist, to inspire people by doing your own art and not only answering to people's opinions. So now it's the time to make and to show your art to the world and to change, to have a message. And yeah. Thank you, Lana. Yeah, I all wish you to stay safe and take care, stay creative, stay at home, and support other artists. Also watch other artists on Book a Street Artist, because they're amazing people. They have amazing other artists as well. I lived in Berlin for 1 year before I went to the Film Academy in Baden-Württemberg, and Berlin is just amazing for getting inspired by other artists. And I loved Berlin. I was walking as a body painter also in clubs, and it was very funny because one time I was booked at I think it was Holzig. I think it's not anymore there, but I was there and I was painting people, tattoos, smalls, and I also putting the mirror stones, the sparkling ones, the small, on the people. So you had kind of a living disco ball dancing crowd, and with UV colors. So they were kind of my jobs when I was in Berlin, beside my film work for spikeheels.com. And so I think it was 4 in the morning. I went in the metro and empty. Everything was empty. And suddenly there was kind of a harlequin dressed up with his little bells and costume, putting in, and with a big jukebox, putting into the metro and starting to dance, wild dancing, and no one in the metro. And loud music and dancing, but very, very nice dancing. There was a lot of expression, and then suddenly in front of me was the final. He made a split. And I was like, give me some money. Okay. That was so inspiring to me. I was standing there, and I think more than 1 hour on the next station with him, talking about his life, and he was kind of he's a dancer, and I was asking him why you dance in an empty subway, and he said, I just had the feeling to go out and have fun. And I think that's what makes a real artist. Like, you do it with your heart, you do it because you feel good about it. And of course you want to inspire others, but you don't, like, you always want, like, just for purpose. It's also like for feeling good. Yeah, and I got a lot of inspirations like this when I was in Berlin. So Berlin is amazing. So we make the hairs. You already see what it is? Maybe he needs more thick cheeks, because there is where he is hiding his things. You don't know what it is for animal? I give you a tip. I have the second most hated animal of 2020. You know? Maybe you know. The person who is writing down the name of this animal will win one of my cards. So, and don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. So you will get to know next time I go live and show some other work maybe of me, because you saw I do so much. I do body painting, I paint on canvas, I paint on bodies, I paint on hands, I paint on faces, I paint also on walls. I do. But for book and street artists, I'm mostly there for body painting. And yeah, and I make films. I love making films. So he needs more thick cheeks. Maria, you're welcome. So I have the light coming from this side, so I will need to have a shadow on the other side to do it next. see. Maybe. So the shadow. So the shadow, the closer it gets to the subject, is more strong. And the other one I will put a little bit more for I hope you're also all healthy, feeling good, doing your work at your home office, and planning your new projects. Let's make some more dark. So in case you also want to get the experience of a body painting, you can check out the page. I can be booked for private shootings. I also do the photography and the digital post-processing. I do a lot of body painting composings. I'm also known for my fantasy style. Like, maybe you know the World Body Painting Festival in Austria. It's kind of the world champs. And I also have an annual photo award. And I won this photo award already 3 times. And last year I was second with one of my digital artworks, and 4th and 10th. So I was 3 times in the top 10. It was a good year. And yeah, I'm sorry for them, because this year WBF, the World Body Painting Festival, the World Champs, won't take place because of the current situation in Austria, because we have so many countries coming together, and I think they decided wisely to have the people safe. And so it got postponed for next year. Yeah, it's an amazing festival. You meet a lot of amazing talents there. And that's also where I met one of my favorite dancers. I created this film, Paris, You Got Me, with her, my last dance short film. So Ksenia Pakatskaya is amazing. You can book her course on her page. She's very unique because she dances she mixes different styles. She even mixes African dance in her swing and tap dance performance. It's really amazing. And she's so nice. So let's put some red to make it even more skin-like. And for the people who came in later, I can make another last round to my studio to show all of my works. Because after I finished the shooting for body painting, that sometimes I take in my studio here in Wittenberg, I also make a lot of work in Photoshop to make it come together with the idea of the painting. So changing backgrounds, or also putting some effects on it I didn't have on the painting before. So I really like putting more to the body painting than just the body painting, because I think a body painting is always telling a story, and a story about a creature that wants to live somewhere. So, and when you just have a black background, it can be nice but I prefer having a character, like for film, and like a character of body painting that could live in this environment. And that's why some of my digital composings are also like, you don't see the model looking into the camera, because sometimes it's too much pose. It's just too like fashion shooting, but not about a creature being in their own world. So sometimes I think that's more honest and speaks more to me. Okay. He has white hairs around the barb. And white nails. What's also interesting about body painting color, over the time, you lose contrast. Because that's why I also say, like, never use no makeup on your skin. Because skin is like organ for breathing, and the skin eats the color. That's why you will have less contrast after some time of the highlights you put. So it's always important to put the highlights at the very end again. And this one, he has so many hairs. And it's all about the details. Putting some texture. He's holding a heart. that means stay safe at home. So, anyone knows what is this animal? Okay. Need more contrast. And red. Okay, so my boyfriend, it's not native English what I'm writing, but didn't see the cat behind. The cat. That's the cat. And this is a poem about never giving up. Because, can you see the mouse? Normally you would say this situation for the mouse is hope it's lost, but I read the poem of my dad, who creates his cards with me. So I paint these cards once a month, and he invents stories that are in poems. Zwei Katzen fette Beute sich erhoffen, wo eine Maus im schlimmen Ängsten schwebt. Kann sie Errettung noch erhoffen und dankbar sein, weil sie noch lebt? Doch überraschend gewährt das Leben oft mal Gaben, wo jede Hoffnung scheint verloren. Der Glaube gibt dir dann die Kraft, weil fliegend wirst du neu geboren. So that means in German, never give up, even when you're in this situation. Yeah. That's no cat, Lionel. That's something else you have to figure out. So let's put some black. And I think then we are going for the finals. I need to wash. But I will take some pictures before, Maria. So you have to wash your hands in this time. Of course, I will post the picture down and also send to you. So who knows this animal? Someone knows? No, it's not a mouse, but maybe you will get some link. It's the second most hated animal this year. You know? collects this in his cheeks. So no cat. What is this for animal? Maria, yeah, I sent you. But first you need to guess. I had one of these animals. Was called Michelangelo. Yeah, hamster. Lionel, perfect. You won one card. You can, I show you after a link where you can select your card and I will send it to you. We have a winner, Lionel American. So Mark, and now I need you. Come on. So do you have some questions? Now I will send you a picture later from the artwork and show you my studio. Let's get the gimbal working. So, so here's coming my boyfriend. Come. So,
Hello.
he was filming me before, and he will do another film now for you, because more people entered. So, kannst du noch was? Ruf dich an, ja? Und mit Musik. Want to be my model, collaboration, or want to book me through bookastreetartist.com, just go to the page, click the link below,